of Young and Prolific. Thank you so much. We're sorry we're a little bit late. We're waiting for a guest. But some other guest is coming. So that empty chair is for a fantastic guest. But this evening, I've got a wonderful lady, Lucinda Mensah. She is a mental health counselor, and she's going to be able to talk about what the essence of mental health and our mental well-being encompasses among our community, especially the youth. So my baby girl, please give us a little synopsis of who you are, why you chose that field, and then we can take it from there. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm a mental health counsellor in hypnotherapy.
Yes, your voice has to go up a bit. I know you're shy though. Yes.
I specialise in hypnotherapy.
Okay.
A lot of people are like, oh, what's that? You know, what's
Yes.
hypnotherapy? Is it hypnosis? What is it? And it really is just guided meditation. The idea of what people think it is, what they see on TV, what they see in movies and stuff, it's not that. It's a completely different thing.
Okay.
So I basically use guided meditation with the talk therapy to help people get into a calmer state of mind so that they can get into the issues that they're dealing with in a more calm state, relaxed state of mind. It's easier to do that when you're calm rather than when you're stressed and there's so much going on.
Do you think hypnotherapy works? Because I know you said that, and I've watched in the movies whereby they tell you to stand on one leg and hop up and all that stuff.
It's none of that. It's none of that. Yeah. I believe they use that just for like entertainment purposes.
Okay.
But how they use it in the therapy side is they introduce okay they introduce guided meditation, so using breathing exercises and different techniques and tools to help that person get through their therapy, and it does work, I would say, because the techniques and tools that they use are used in yoga, they're used in normal meditation as well. So there are a lot of benefits to it.
Okay, yeah. The reason why sometimes mental health issues in our community, we've seen that it's really stigmatized, is that when you talk of saying that you've got a mental health issue, all of a sudden you're ostracized. It's like they go, oh my God, that person is loopy. Why did you go into that field, and how sometimes do you feel it does help people structure their lives? Because our well-being is encompassed on our mental health.
Absolutely.
So why did you go into that that field?
So, you know, growing up in an African household, I'd say mental health isn't really spoken about openly. A lot of our parents don't know much about mental health as well, the ins and outs. And so, you know, when I went to university, even throughout my school life, through secondary school, college, uni, I had a lot of mental health issues, but I didn't know what was going on with myself. I didn't know that I was having mental breakdowns, or I was having anxiety, I was going through depression. I think culturally, because a lot of African parents don't understand mental health, you know, you can't really take it home to them and say, oh, like, Mom, I'm depressed, Dad, I'm depressed. They won't see it as something that is real, or, you know, that it's really something that's happening, because they don't understand it. I got into mental health because of what I was going through, and I was advised to seek help because I felt like I was hitting rock bottom at some point in my life during uni. And so I sought help and saw a counsellor, had a few sessions, and those few sessions literally changed my life. Just being able to speak to someone that would listen and understand. For the very first time in my life, it was like a whole weight was lifted off my shoulder, and it inspired me to go down this route to then help others when they're in that place of their life.
Okay, you know when you said our parents don't understand, we do understand. I think sometimes we're just trying to push it under the carpet. And the reason why I say that is our parents had their families. It's like they could talk to their sisters, they could talk to their cousins.
Yeah.
You see, there were things that were in the family. I told somebody that the only time I heard about family secrets was when my mom died, because nobody spoke about things, because they had it, you see, and in a culture, they'll turn around and say, you're young, what do you know about you being stressed? What do you know about, you know, because they felt, oh, we pay for your bills, we clothe you. So what are you talking about? What were the really things that actually made you, because I know you're studying, because we put pressure on you, you have to get the best grades, you go to school, you're trying to make friends, that is trying to fit in. Was that part of those issues, or what were they?
I would say, it was. They do tend to think that because you are young, you don't understand certain things, or you know, you're not really going through your life just yet. But aside from, you know, adulting, how they say it, paying the bills and, you know, getting a job and getting money and stuff like that. Yeah, there is that part of life, but then there's your mental health, your self-esteem, your confidence, your, you know, are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling depressed? Are you having issues at school? Are you getting bullied? How are you receiving that? How are you responding to it? And, you know, a lot of the time I would say they can neglect that side of things.
How can parents notice that their children are going through those mental health issues? How do you feel that parents can identify that? Because you're talking about being bullied in school, you're talking about the kid being anxious, sometimes even when it comes to exams, trying to look a certain way. As a black person or as a young person in a community, how can parents identify that part of?
I'd say the best way is talking to the child, creating an open and safe space for them to come and speak to them. You know, not dismissing them when they first come to you as a parent, you know, oh mum, I'm going through this, or I feel this type of way, I'm not sure what's going on. Not to just dismiss it, and be open and non-judgmental to that child, and also trying to notice change in behavior. Are they staying out of the house a lot? Are they going out with friends? Are they hardly home? Are they locking themselves in their rooms too much? Are they isolating themselves? Are they snapping at you? Are they, you know, just like very drastic changes of behavior? Some are subtle and some are very drastic, but I think always keeping your eye open to those types of things. You
know, sometimes parents feel that if I have to get help, or if I have to label it, then that means I'm putting my child in a position whereby that child is going to be seen as if they've got a problem, because you've got the education ADHD, right. Whereby that is part of the kid feeling anxious, because if they're in school and they're having challenges in the classroom, I remember sometimes in our generation, sometimes they'll say, oh, the kid is just a pure dumb, it's got nothing to do. No, there's nothing. They don't actually acknowledge that. But you know, before you answer this, I'm going to go to my producer. I want us to take a break. My next guest has come so that she can actually join in the conversation, and then we can see which way this thing will go. So guys, I'll be back in a few minutes. But now, I was going to be back in a few minutes, but we're still going to go on. So with me, how do we? Because I find it that we don't appreciate that the mental health aspect of our family is very, 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 very prominent. Because today, when you came, we're talking about marriages. And I was telling you that one of the disappointments that I find is parents feel that they hide things from the children. And somebody will say, oh, I'm in a marriage, but I'm not happy. A woman will say, oh, I'm just there for my children. Do you understand me? Do you feel that has a massive impact on the children?
I would say to some extent it does. In a way, you're kind of teaching the kids that it's okay to stay in an environment that isn't healthy for you, that isn't healthy for your mental health. And it's not really what you want to teach them. I think being open and honest about the situation, not having to go into details, of course, but being open and honest with the young ones, and kind of taking action to show them that when you are in a situation like that, you don't have to stay in a situation like that. I feel like in a marriage, when they're having issues that way, they don't have to do it just for the kids. They have to put themselves first as well. I think that's one of the most important things I've learned.
Okay, so as a young person, I'm going to ask this question, because when I ask my adult friends, they say things that sound so much like my parents, that they're saying that a two-family home that is miserable is better than a single home. From a youth's perspective, what do you think? Because
it's interesting.
Yes, I know.
Very interesting.
Because I know you have friends that, so I'm talking from that angle.
I think all in all, in those two situations, because I personally haven't been in a single household, a single parent household, I can't really speak for that side. But what I do know is that being able to have open and honest conversations with the family is important, and teaching them about self-love and self-care is also something that should be prioritized as well. Not being scared to open up to your kids so that they feel like they can open up back to you. Yeah.
But you still haven't answered it. So do you feel that, I know you've not been there, but with the friends that they've been in families, that the toxicity is so out there that even when the man is at home, even though they're not talking, some of them don't even sleep in one room. It's like everybody's doing their own thing. Do you feel that is a good way? Because these are the children that, you see, I always keep saying that when I had my kids, I had this mental thing that I am raising somebody's husband. My nieces, they are people's wives. You understand me? So when you are children, you're not going to, whatever you impact in them is not going to be massive. But I'm asking that by the time they're growing up, is it the nurturing or is it the environment that creates how these kids turn up?
So I'd say, everything does start from the home, because your parents are your primary caregivers.
Precisely.
And so if they are teaching you that in that situation, it's okay to stay, it's okay to continue to feel down and feel low and not kind of do things to put themselves first, that child may adopt that way of handling situations or going about certain situations, and then take that outside into their relationships.
Okay, but I know that I've put so much on you, so what we're going to do is we're going to go on a break now.
Sure.
My other guest, as I said prior, has come through, so what we'll do is when we come back, she'll join us and then we'll keep it moving. So thank you guys. I'm back. So now my guest is here. This is Shanti Brown, and she is a mentor, a lifestyle mentor. So now, thank you for coming. Today she decided to go traditional. So hey, let her rock a tradition, boy. So please give us a little synopsis of who you are.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Shanti Brown. I am, like you said, a lifestyle coach. I also do counselling.
Yes.
And then but that's basically it.
Oh, okay. But what made you go into that genre of profession?
Okay, so naturally...
Because originally you were an air hostess,
Right.
yes, for American Airlines.
Okay.
So was it all the madness that made you go, sorry, I just...
No, it's because naturally I'm a people's person anyway.
Yes.
And I'm a fixer, I'm a defender and all of it.
Yes.
And it turns out I like beauty, so not just for women.
Yeah.
It's like everything I see that's kind of out of place, I like to fix. I'm a bit of a fixer.
You're a perfectionist.
Yeah, oh, I won't say that. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I like to fix things. And then I'm a people's person as well. So I know, like you said, I've done airline, I've done loads of things, marketing and all of it.
Yeah.
But after the pandemic, I thought, you know what? I like people, I like their mind and all of it. So I want to get back to that, and that's what I'm doing. But all my life I've been like a kind of a, I don't know how to say it.
What's that?
Like my nickname's like old woman anyway, so
Yeah,
I'm the one to go to talk to.
Yeah.
I like to help people out in that sense, yeah.
Oh, she likes people, sorry. But it's
well.
I know, isn't it? Okay, so this is Lucinda. And yes.
We met actually.
Yes. So what today the topic that we're talking about is the mental health within the community, how our community stigmatizes mental health. So we're talking about marriages, and then we were talking about whether being in a two-parent family that is toxic. Is it worth it, or being in a single-parent whereby you're teaching your kids the value of who you are? So from that perspective, I know I cut you, but I want her to say something and then you would say it. So what do you think? Because we feel that kids do see what goes on.
Definitely. Well, see, this is the thing. I always say I would rather pick this split up because of the toxicity. But people say to me, oh yeah, you don't, because you're not married and all of that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But kids are very, very, very intuitive. Kids know exactly what's going on in the house. Even when you're trying to hide it, or you're not talking, or you're pretending they can tell. So I would rather you split up nicely and have a good parent. It's difficult because I grew up with my parents in the house. So I can't imagine someone growing up without their parents.
Yes.
But you know what? Life is life. So if it happens like that, I believe separating maybe would work. I think.
Lucinda, when she says that, it's not about being married, because I made that inference that when you're a child, we've all been, I come from a two-parent home, yeah? My mom and my dad were married till the day my dad died. But when I was in a marriage and it wasn't working, you see, as much as I didn't want it to break up, because you know when you say that, when you say you say that at the end of the day we should break up amicably. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes it's very, very difficult depending on what the breakup or the issue that came about, that the breakup transpired. Do you understand me? But with me, I feel that children should never be a casualty when a relationship breaks up. I don't like it when women turn around and say, I'm not going to let him see the child. I always keep saying this. And the reason why with me, I always say that is, when a child, if a relationship breaks up and a parent says, oh, I'm not going to let you see, what the mother is forgetting is, unless the man is an abusive man, that your kids are in danger. You're taking away that half of what makes that parent, makes that child who they are, because you decided to marry that man. So how does it become the child's problem when a woman says, oh, because he left me for another woman? Well, I'm not saying that it is something that is pleasant, but I believe that the child is always supposed to be prominent. I don't feel that a woman has the right, unless the man says, I don't want to deal with the child. You see, so me, breaking up to me is, in a way, is a better, because with me, you know my children, and I seem that they are more mentally sound than if I was in the marriage. Do you understand me? But I came from a 2-parent family. She came from one, and you came from one. Do you understand me?
In other words, you're saying it's best to break up.
With me, if there's too much toxicity,
I would agree.
and everybody is doing their own thing, it doesn't help. So now, in the fields that you guys have chosen, if somebody is still going on that tangent, how do you guys, Lucinda, how would you broach this thing? Because I know you do hypnotherapy. Yes? Yeah. Is it a way of you saying that you have to find who you are, find out why you contributed to her? So how would you broach that?
As the child or the parent?
As a counselor.
As a counselor. I'd say, you know, if you do end up breaking up, which I would agree would be the right thing to do.
I bet those African parents are kicking and screaming at the screen. What the effing are they talking about? But please,
you know what? It's like you are teaching the child what it means to value yourself, and a lot of young people don't know how to value themselves. To stay in a relationship that is toxic, you are basically teaching the child that it's okay to be in an environment, like I said earlier, that is toxic, which isn't healthy, and then they take those things outside. Teaching value and self-love is very important, to care for yourself, to put yourself first. If you're, as a parent, going through that with your husband and you can tell it's affecting the kids, if going a separate way is the best way to go about it, then by all means. But to keep, like what you were saying, you know, to keep the father away from seeing the kids, as long as he's not abusive, as long as he's actually trying to stay in the kid's life, I believe that it should be allowed, because at the end of the day, the child is going to grow up, and they should ultimately choose whether
they want to be.
If they want their father to be in their life, who, you know, they get to know them properly, and then when they grow up, they can make that choice for themselves. I don't think it's healthy for the mother to.
This Friday, we had a debate whereby my sons were saying that people bring baggage into the relationship. I want you to actually, from a mentor point of view, how did you see that conversation?
I would say I was quite relieved from a woman's point of view, and even though they're young men, I felt like that was a good point, or like a good thing to be thinking about and to be bringing across, because I mean, 2020 now, people are dating and having fun and they're not taking things serious, and the way they were talking to me, it's like they're looking for life partners, even though they're not doing it now.
And what was it? What did they say? They said love. We talked about it. Love language.
Oh, that's a whole new season. We're gonna have to do that. Like, people don't know that. But the point, the way they were serious about it, see, coming in today, I was thinking about little things that you was gonna ask me, right? And I kept thinking, it's all to do about it's all about knowing yourself and that spirituality, and then putting yourself first and all of it. So back to what you just asked. They put themselves first, and they know what they want. They know how to get it, or even if they're not there yet, they're trying to get there. This is it. And some people don't know. And I'm flipping it back to what you said about the 2-parent home, and they're not, you know, if they're not getting on, they split up and not split up. The problem is sometimes the parents, it could be the man or the woman, they don't want to come out of it due to rent or
out of cultural obligations.
Whatever it is, they don't want to come out of it, and they're selfish. I want to say. They're not thinking about the kids.
No.
You like, but when we're growing up, we've been going get a remote. I don't, you know, we probably didn't go through all of that. Get a remote, take my socks off. You know,
that was our parents.
My briefcase after. I'm thinking, hello, you're sitting back. But the point is, now these kids, I think it's worse for them now. People think it's better now. I think it's worse. Really? I feel that emotionally they get bullied a lot. Emotionally though. Do you see what I mean? Like, and mentally. Because now, to me, leaving a child sitting on a laptop or internet while parents working 7 days a week, that's mental abuse.
Because there's neglect, basically.
Neglect, but mentally he's getting a bit all messed up, you know?
Yeah.
All he's doing is internet, or say, I don't know, eating, for example. See, all of that, but we think, oh, they've got it good, they're sitting on the internet, or they're eating, or they don't, no.
Because she said something that she went to uni
Yeah.
and she was going through a lot. And the process in which she was going through, she didn't feel that there was a safe space for her to actually say that, so she went to a counselor. And this is one of the stuff too, that when my marriage broke up, I found a counselor for my son and I found a mentor for my, because
That's another thing.
I was struggling with my own issues. So how am I going to be there for my child when I can't even figure it out?
Right,
But they got lucky
exactly.
though.
Because I thought that they needed somebody to talk to that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Because at that present moment, I'm going through my own. They understand. They were in secondary school. They were in their teenage years. They're trying to figure out who they are. You know, that kind of stuff. And sometimes I feel our parents, they did us a really disservice by not. I do feel that, because I look at some of the stuff that my mom says. Oh, you know what? I'm there for my kids. The thing is, the kid is suffering. And our community, when we talk about mental health, from you guys, your perspective, isn't a mental health aspect whereby the whole body and the mind are all in sync? How do we let people understand that they should not stigmatize themselves? How would you sort of like explain or navigate this?
Are you going?
Okay, yeah, sure. I would say being open to learn about mental health. I don't think they teach it much in schools. You know, having mentors come in and speak to the kids and, you know, give them some guidance, because I feel like in our culture we have a pretty like judgmental people, like we have quite judgmental people in our culture.
Yes, we do.
And so, you know, I think that also plays a part in when there is a married couple that there is a lot of toxicity. They don't want to come out of it because, oh, what's my friend gonna say? Oh, what are they gonna say? What, like, how are they gonna
they
see
think
us?
about everybody else
but themselves,
right.
and that's the most unhealthy thing that they could ever do. Because, you know, what you were saying with you wanted to help your child and speak to your child, but you felt like you didn't. you got it going on too. And I always use this idea of, you know, everyone has a cup.
Yes.
And that when that cup is full, that means you're fulfilled within yourself. You're happy with yourself. You know, you love yourself wholeheartedly. But if your cup is half full, or it's got a quarter of water in there, you can't give, because then you feel depleted, and then you feel, you know, low on energy. You have to give to yourself before you can give to others. And I think teaching that to young people is something that is very important, I would say.
And how? Okay, you go with that.
I was going to say, I would personally look at it from both sides, parents and the kids. I feel like you said, in our community, there's a lot of judgment, culture, religion, all of it has made us like lost in ourselves. So personally, I always tell people, be silent, do you. Think about you, what do you want to do? And I know we're in a relationship, and I know everybody's married and you're not married yet, or you're married and you don't want to be, whatever it is. We need to, like you said, you need to get to a point. You said your cup full in a good way. I say your cup's full and you're fed up. You get to a point where you take a lot of crap and then you get to a point, you need to stop. You have to stop. Because even if you don't care about your kids, you're going to break down. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know we get to a stage where these kids are very selfish anyway. So you feel like,
100%.
They just take. But I learned one thing on like a course I was doing. You know, when you give, right?
Yeah.
People want to call it empathy, toxic empathy. People want to call it selfishness. Whatever it is, you give. You need to basically learn how to receive, innit? Whether you want to receive or not. But we don't do that though. I don't know about you, but I think African people, we just give. Sometimes we give because we want to give, or we give because we genuinely are givers, or we give because we want people to think we're giving.
Yeah, we do it for perception.
So we need to just stop and just see you. Like, I can't explain it. But when I get people worrying, I say, you do you. It's not easy to do you, but you have to do you. You know, basically.
I think I've got to a point whereby I do me. And the reason why I say I've got to a point that I do me is I have seen too many people break down. You see, it's like a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Whereby you see that you're doing it. you're pretending to be okay. Anyway, I've never pretended to be okay. I'm lying. I'm sorry. I even said it with straight face.
If I could just say something as well.
I don't know why I'm lying on TV, but I know.
This give thing. I basically went for a stage where I stopped and basically I had to do me. But you give them. Do you know what the do you thing is? And as a counsellor, you'd know as well. You know when you basically, again, African, British, whatever, you give and you give and you give and you give and if you've got toxic empathy, God help you. But you give and you give and you give and you get to a point where you don't even want to receive. You feel guilty receiving.
Yeah, you feel bad for wanting to receive it. So when it's coming to you, you don't even take it.
No, you basically tell you don't want it. You block it off. Like,
oh yeah.
And then see, I realized that's actually.
How does that happen? Sorry, I didn't know that.
I didn't that myself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you know what I realized lately, whether you're Christian, Muslim, or atheist, whatever it is, that's actually a sin, though.
Is it?
No, it is actually. Because you see what you're doing. You're giving and giving and giving and giving. Whether you, like I said, whether you want to give or you willingly, you're
do it willingly.
You're holier than thou, or you want to be whatever it is. So people just give because they want people to think they get whatever it is. It's a sin though, because you know what? If you're not,
you have to balance out.
It has to balance out. It's a yin and yang. You can't just be yin and yang. It's not working.
No,
so whether we like it or not, I'm trying to say, and it's hard for African people.
It is hard.
We need to just stop. You know what? We're human. Just stop. Basically.
No, I didn't get that part. That we need to stop doing what? Sorry.
Stop giving too much.
Oh yes, that I get because the funny thing is,
boundaries are very important.
Yeah. But we don't put boundaries. So
we don't know boundaries because you could be in your bedroom and your mum just walks in and basically you could be 25 and she's walking there chatting when you're, excuse me, a bit naked. We don't do African. We just don't do nothing. We don't do counselling. We don't do boundaries. We just everything's just.
I don't know where you lot been, but for me, I've always had boundaries. I don't know how this has happened. No,
but this is why we're doing what we do, though. Just
right.
Yeah.
It's because I just realized that what you don't say, I'm African, but that don't apply to me. If you walk in my room, I don't care that you're my mom, though. I'm telling you, it don't work out like that.
I mean, it's not. Like,
I do get beat, though.
Exactly. It's not like they're gonna walk into my room and then I'll be. They're gonna be. I mean, intrusively, and they don't want to leave. The point is, I feel like. They're good though. I don't want anyone to get me wrong.
Who is good?
But African people, we're good people. We've got our religion. We've got all of it.
Yes,
but it's just the boundaries are not there and the morals are twisted. And because when you think about it, why are you in the house of a woman who you don't want to be with? Right?
That's it.
That's a difference.
That is a different topic.
But why are you in the house? Right? Why are you in the house of a man?
No, but that is part of the mental health thing.
Yeah. Why are you in the house of a woman you don't want to be with? Right? And then you're pretending like you're talking to her and you're not talking to her and you're going and you're coming home late. Oh, she's pretending like she's talking to him. She don't want to give him food. And you think the kids are not. Come on now. You think the kids are not going to see you like that. And then you see people outside and you're grinning teeth as well, like.
I know, because you can see the fakeness.
That's toxic.
So it is toxic.
Yeah.
But I see, and this is where I've spoken to so many young people, and they say, "Auntie, we see that. So why are they?" And then they'll stand around and tell me, "Oh, but why come they say they're there for us?" But they don't talk. They don't sleep in the same room. They don't do things together. Everybody's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel that. With me, I think we've got to a stage in our lives that sometimes we feel that with me, when my marriage is falling apart, I don't think me being in there had much to do with me wanting the marriage as me feeling that I had failed. So sometimes you're there thinking that I've invested all this in this relationship. Why should I give it up? Do you understand me?
Yeah, but I don't blame them though. I used to think, why are you there? But you know what people like? It's a nice thing that you do like hypnosis as well, because you have to snap people out of it. Because some people just imagine. Oh, you know that 20 years you're in a relationship, you've done everything, you've helped him out, and then he's saying it's not working. What? No. What do I do now?
Right.
Apart from killing him, which is against the law. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out.
But the point is, I mean, it's nice we're laughing about it.
No, it is.
I used to think I ain't staying there if you don't. No, that's
but it's not as easy as that.
No.
It is not as easy as that.
It's not.
But with me, I think I looked at it from how my mom and my dad were. They had good times and they had bad times. But if I was married to my dad, probably he would have been dead before time. But one of the things that I realized was it had a massive, massive impact on me. You see, because we're talking about girls being clingy. Because sometimes what they don't get from home.
That's my favorite subject. But anyway.
I know. Because when they don't, because when they don't get it from home, now they think they're going to get another guy, and that other guy too has his own baggage. So now those two. So that's why I keep saying that when men, you're leaving your families or you're raising your children.
Oh, women, it's not just men though.
No, I'm just saying that when they are raising their sons, because when a woman is raising their son, what they instill in them is different for a man who instill in him as a man. Because they say a man doesn't cry. You know, that kind of stuff. With me, I tell them cry.
You mean African men, innit?
Men in general,
Really?
even, apart from people that they get drunk and then they cry unwillingly. But what I'm saying is, no, but that, you know something, because it's like we tell them, oh, you have to hold everything in your man and all those stuff, and that is when they do what they kind of blow their top. Do you understand me? We talk about religion, respect, our culture stuff. Yes, okay, well, I do appreciate that women have to be submissive. Do you understand? But one of the things that I'm saying is, how do we raise our children to understand? Because remember, you're talking about you being a serviceable person. You as a young person, what are the qualities that you have learned from looking at your parents?
I'd say to be resilient.
Okay.
Because you're inevitably gonna go through things. You're gonna see things. You're gonna experience things in life. You have to learn how to be resilient and be strong. And also respect yourself enough to know when to leave a situation.
But when you say respect yourself enough, this is where we were talking about perception of the outside, covering up. How do you identify the respect aspect?
The thing is, if you're coming from a household that is quite toxic, it is hard to identify it. I would advise seek guidance outside of the home. I mean, because you can't get it from them.
How are they seeking guidance? They don't know they're in them. You know what I mean? They don't know what they're in anyway. They think it's normal.
Yes.
So I guess you could say it's identifying that there's a problem in the first place. Yeah.
But we don't want the social service. You see, we're talking before you get the social, because this weekend the mayor of Enfield did a program and you were there.
Yes. Yeah.
What was the program about, and what did it entail?
It was about domestic violence and mental health.
Okay.
Not a lot of people came through. Domestic violence is a very, very big topic, and I would imagine that victims of domestic violence wouldn't want to come forward.
Yes. Why do you say that?
I believe that they feel that what they're in is normal in a sense. It's their norm anyway. It might be either that, or they just don't know how or what to do or who to talk to. Yeah, because they're so wrapped in.
They won't want to go anywhere, because if I was a drunk and they're doing like an AA big park thing, I'm not going. Mentally, everyone's going to think I'm a drunk. You know what I mean? Like, mentally, I'll be walking around thinking, oh God, everyone thinks I'm...
So that's still the stigma.
It basically, in their mind.
How do we do that? So how do we change the narrative?
I want to quickly just say, you asked her a question about what she learned from her parents.
Yes.
I want to quickly, make 2 points. Personally, I learned teamwork, and every parent staying in their lane. For me.
Okay, right. Explain.
I like that, because you see, like the teamwork, my parents were like a team. They could be arguing, the minute we're around, they're a team. Yeah. They used to always be a team anyway. And then the one thing that I'll take to my grave, right, is I want a man like my mum. Like my dad, sorry.
If you want a man like your mom, you're gonna kill. Anyway, I'm gonna give my
sorry, ladies, I'm not gay. Anyway. No, so when I say I want a man like my dad, most women like men like their dad, but that's
not me now. I don't.
No. What I'm trying to say is
no, my dad was a philanderer, so no, I don't want a man like him. Oh, you keep going. Yes.
What I'm trying to say is, like, I liked the way he stayed in his lane. Do you know what I mean? Because certain couples, you don't know who's a man or who's a woman, and the woman's trying to be the man, the man's trying to be the woman. No, in my house, I believe. My dad was a man, my mum was a woman, if that makes sense. And I like that.
Okay, explain that. She never went into the territory of your dad.
No, she knew she was a woman, and she did it. And you know, my mum's a very strong woman.
Yeah.
Like a very, very strong woman.
I know.
But my dad's a very strong man.
That's why when you said you wanted a man like a woman, I was very, very worried.
And then my thing is, I can give an example. Like I remember I was listening to T.D. Jakes a while ago, and he was talking about there's too many masculine women around.
Okay.
Right. So you've got masculine women who want to pay the bills when there's a man in the house, who want to be talking like to a man like they're the man.
Yes.
And I believe no matter what job a man does, he's a man. I can't impregnate. Like I know you don't like the word impregnate, but I'm going to use it. I cannot impregnate a woman, innit? Or myself. And
it's a man that marries a woman, even though society, women will say, "Oh, I'm going to marry a man." Right. It's kind of like you take, because I remember we had a discussion. Remember my sons were saying, I said, no, the dad was doing something wrong. He said, let him do it wrong because he's a man.
And that's the thing I liked, because they were saying, right, young men, they're like, let a man be a man.
Yeah.
And my mum let my dad be a man.
Yes.
And when she's on her own, she's like a tornado.
Yes.
But when he was around, she knew her place.
Yes.
He knew his place.
Yes.
Right. And that's what I like. And now, it's like I was chatting to a friend the other day, and she's like, I can't be bothered anymore. Like, I keep meeting men and they want me to chase them. Now, that's being a woman, though. If you want a woman to chase you, you're being a woman. That's what I mean.
No, but sometimes I don't blame the men.
But why?
Okay, from your generation, from your generation, what have you learned from getting into a relationship? I don't know whether you're in one or you're going to be in one or whatever it is, because I know you don't want your dad to kill you, but
choose your words carefully.
Yeah. I don't get into any.
No, but somebody of people gonna chat rap. So hello.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I have been in relationships like in the past, and you learn a lot. Personally, I'd say like from home life, it's important what you take from it and what you don't take from it, because parents may display some things that maybe you wouldn't want to display in your own relationships. All marriages are hard, everyone goes through things, but I think learning how to, like I say all the time, like just loving yourself first, because when you don't, you seek it outside. You seek it outside. Oh, I don't feel loved. I don't I don't get it from my parents. I don't get it from my dad. I don't get it from my mom. Where can I get it from? Oh, where's the next best place? A man. Because when you're with a man, there is that physical intimacy, and you get that part of love that you're looking for, and so you go and seek it. Anyway, what you think is love. It's not really love. And then you get it, and then maybe things go wrong. You don't understand why it's going wrong. Oh, what's wrong with me? Why don't they stay with me? Why don't they love me? It's not about you and your value. It's about that person. A lot of us young ladies, when we get into relationships and it doesn't work, we're like, oh, what's wrong with me? Am I not beautiful enough? No, hold on.
When you say that, it cuts across. It cuts across that any woman that goes into a new relationship.
I know, well, yeah.
Yeah, no, but when she said young, I'm telling you, that's what I told you. But
that's a good thing she said.
Right. Yeah.
Young women are the ones who are supposed to be thinking like that, but now you got
50-year-olds
thinking like that, which is a problem, though, right?
No, but we've been thinking that way since when we were young. So it's like when they grow up, this is what they carry with them. Apart from our mums, you see, us that we're lucky that our mums have instilled in us that
to be strong, to be resilient.
So what I'm saying, so what you're actually saying now is something. Because I remember I said to you that we don't even know what is going on. We're just kind of fronting. You understand me?
We don't.
So when you said it, I can relate. But there are women that they've killed themselves because they feel that
they feel they're not good enough.
They're not good enough,
or killed other people.
Yes. Other people, which now the young ones are doing now, poisoning people because this person has got a relationship. Or if I kill that person, I'll get that relationship. Or I have a child with the man so that he stays with me.
Yeah, no, it's when it gets to that point of like you're seeking that love outside, it will always fail because you don't love yourself enough to remove yourself from a situation that isn't serving you well. You think because it's love, because you're getting that, that physical
that
touch,
intimacy,
that hug, that kiss or whatever it may be, that, you're getting love. It doesn't mean that. There's so much behind it, and a lot of us tend to blame the other party, but are we looking at ourselves? Are we self-evaluating ourselves? Okay, am I doing the work to build myself up, to build my self-love, my self-care, acknowledging and taking accountability for my own flaws? Because with women and men in relationships, it's not just about the man. Men do a lot of crazy things.
Oh, okay.
Well, we don't know.
That's another topic altogether.
That's a whole other topic.
Yes.
A lot of them do a lot of wild things, but women too do a lot of wild things, and they don't take accountability for their actions. Looking at their insecurities that they may have and working on it. If you don't work on it, it will eventually bleed into your relationship, and then when it doesn't work, you're like, oh why? It's like a cycle.
So how do you advise the youth, the women that are coming up, the guys, because I know that you don't just deal with the women and the girls and stuff. How do you talk to them? How do you get them to actually understand that until you work on yourself, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to get into a healthy relationship?
It is exactly what you said. Until you work on yourself, it's going to be very difficult, because mentally, everything that you think turns into how you feel, and how you feel is how you behave. So if you're constantly thinking, about your insecurities and, I need to look like this to be beautiful, I need to look like that, or do this for him to notice me, it's not a healthy way of mentally thinking about things. That mental process that you're going through is and will subconsciously, it's affecting everything outside. And so, there are people like me and you here that are here to educate the young people, and not even just young people, everyone, that like adults, older generation, on these things, so that.
So before I ask another question, Rosemary, I want to say thank you so much for supporting. This is Danswa. Thank you so much for supporting. Please, I want people to share this program. It's just that we have a period in our society whereby we really are not taking seriously our mental health, because the mental health, whoever you are or what you stem from, is encompassed in your mental well-being.
Absolutely.
Because if you are not in the right frame of mind, there's nothing you can do. So, okay, go ahead. You wanted to make a statement? Yeah, please.
Add to what you said. I would say to people, young people who are not sure, or if we think they've got some kind of issue, I would basically question your every decision. Is what I normally tell people. Question your every decision or choices, because you basically from that I believe whether I'm doing right or wrong. Even when you've done it already, you can still go back and question it. Like a trail, and that's how you know because you basically, some people, or when people are in like issues, they don't know they're doing their own thing. Like I don't know, because you're younger anyways, but as women, we do things, and you do it over and over and over again. I.e., you probably go out for a certain guy, for example. That's just general for everybody. Or certain type of guy, and you do it like maybe 4 or 5 times. You need to go back and
reassess,
right, and leave him out of it.
Absolutely.
Why did I choose him? What did I say? How was I behaving? Those kind of things is what you need to be doing. It's what I think, anyway.
Absolutely, I agree.
But we always want to keep the people in the middle of everything, or the men or women, and that's why we don't get to where we want to get to.
So that means we don't take ownership of what we do.
No.
When you say we don't, because I know that we don't take ownership, in a sense that everybody wants to seem like they're the victim.
Yeah.
No, it's true. Everybody wants to seem like, I'm not saying that some people are not victims.
No, for real. Even the victims are basically, sometimes it's 50-50.
Is it? You got the people that they'll say, oh yeah, and I did this and he didn't do that and all that stuff.
That's high expectation. Yeah.
So how do you change that narrative? Because I keep saying that, because the other day I was talking to somebody and the person said 40% of black women are single. over the age of 40 to 50. Do you understand me?
Well, it's 30
But
apparently now, anyway.
It's 30 now.
30 and up apparently.
Oh, okay. And they said that the problem is that when they go out with other races, they seem to get on with them more than us. So what are we doing wrong? Because that's what I keep saying now, mental health. You see, that's what I'm saying. That what are we doing wrong?
You know what? Social media is a big one. That is destroying our society on different levels. My God.
It's forcing things in people's minds by force.
And it's like, even though they're saying they're not taking it in, subconsciously it's going out. They are.
Sometimes you don't listen, it goes in.
You don't even have to like consciously listen for it to be taken in. It's subconsciously going in.
Do you think that Ghanaian girls, our culture is not being, because when I look at other cultures, when you look at the Indians, you look at the Turkish, you look at the Greeks, they still have their culture embedded in them. What are we, the parents, doing wrong? The reason why I say we,
I like that, but anyway, finish.
Okay, what are we doing wrong and how do we change that narrative?
Right. I believe, from my experience anyway, I believe Ghanaian parents, this is going to be hard to say, we don't like our culture. We don't like our culture. Some of us don't like ourselves anyway. So we can't blame the kids for not liking what we don't like. We don't like our culture, so how are we going to get the kids to like, well, that's just
so we're not proud of it.
We don't like it. Forget about the proud. We don't like it.
Yeah, but if you don't like something, you're not even proud of it.
We're only proud when somebody like Asamoah Gyan plays football and everybody knows about Ghana. Or Kufuor goes somewhere and everybody says, oh, you're Ghanaian. That's when we're proud. We don't want to walk down the street.
When Kufuor goes somewhere, I'm not proud.
Right now, they won't want to walk.
No, on this.
Wherever it is, I'm just saying he's the president of Ghana right now, so I'm using
I appreciate that, but it's not when he goes somewhere they were proud. But we're talking about like the stars. No, let's not get it twisted.
But the point I'm trying to make is, it could be Kufuor, it could be Obama, it doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make is, we're only proud when somebody has basically achieved like a massive goal.
That's the thing.
From Ghana.
That's
what I mean?
That's it.
So it's like look,
like the stars.
We go to loads of Ghanaian events. I don't normally go anyway. There's funerals, there's christenings, there's Nigerian ones. You don't see our children wearing our print.
Yes.
That's just a little print, just for one day out of the whole month.
Yes.
They don't want to wear it. And then we can't blame them for not like, we don't want to wear it anyway, so why are they going to wear it? We don't speak some of us don't even speak the language at home. So we're far away from liking ourselves anyway.
So how do we change that narrative?
I'd say like some do, but some
no,
don't.
Of course,
some don't, but some do.
But now, it's kind of like now, since this...
How do you get everybody to get on board, is what you're saying?
No, not that. You know when they started this homecoming kind of thing now? You'll see most of the kids going to Ghana.
But they're even commercializing that.
That's the thing.
That's my worry though. Then even you go there and people wearing thongs and little rolling their body up and down. So that's not our culture.
No.
But thank you. You go there, nobody's wearing African. Well, you get the African Americans or the African.
Okay, the ones that are foreign actually wearing.
Or the diaspora people want to wear it when they go to these events.
Yes,
but you get British kids or American kids come to Ghana and you think they're African American anyway. You can't tell.
True. And it's like the kids that are there want to be more westernized.
So in our minds, right, you've got Ghana's on one side and Britain's on one side. So I would say British is like what, 80% and Ghana 20%.
So then how do we change that narrative?
We do this awareness stuff. We force people to listen.
We have
to force people to listen. Because you go to like Green Lanes, or not Green Lanes, you go to that place in, I can't remember, West London, where I used to go and buy my saris and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And even little kids are wearing their saris.
Which is true, the Indians and stuff.
Yeah, and even if you don't want to wear it, because I've got proper British Indians who don't wear it, but when you go to a wedding, they always
wear it. Yes.
And people don't understand, because you know I do beauty as well. We actually look better in our African thingy.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love to go out in my African print.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I was in Ghana and someone said to me, me, I don't look nice in African print too. Ghanaian person, born and
African print.
Yeah.
Is it? And that's why, because me, I did tourism and he did tourism as well. And that's why they said that our culture is being diluted by the West.
We're diluting ourselves anyway.
You see, because at the end of the day, we are not exuberating the beauty of Ghana. Do you understand me? Because look at Miss Ghana, when Miss Ghana happened. I said, I was there and I was flabbergasted because I see this, and that's where I met you. And it's, and you know, one of the things that I was so, I don't know, I think one of the things that made I got drawn to her was her mom was selling something, yeah? Her dad is at the Uncle John's Bread, yeah? That's it, her. And the mom was selling something, and she was sitting there, yeah, helping the mom. And then I remember she was sitting there. I got smiley, got a beautiful smile, and I don't know whether it was your uncle or something. And that's how I met her. She was supporting her mom. Do you understand me? Whereas there are other people that you wouldn't even.
Yeah, but see again. Sorry to cut you off, but again, her mom made sure she was going to grow up into a woman who has empathy for her parents.
Yes.
Now, if you bring up your child to be a little diva, she's going to grow up being a little diva. It's simple. Her mom basically is reaping what her mom sowed. End of story.
No, but sometimes it depends on the child. Sometimes some parents try and do that, but then they veer from that.
But at least they have in their head, they're not going to turn up. But at least they'll help you pack the things in the car.
Oh, there's some of the kids that wouldn't even do that at all. No, but what we're saying was, she was literally.
Did you see what I mean, though?
No, but
I know, she did well, though. But I'm trying to say.
No, but I was proud of you because when I saw that, I'm looking at her sense of decorum, her sense of elegance, and she's sitting there. It's not like she's sitting there all wrapped up and all those stuff. She's sitting there, and then she's helping out the mom.
And some people even go and sit there and they're like,
I know,
they sit like they're not even with the business.
I know. But you see, this is one of the things. So until I spoke to her and said she was a counselor, I said, you know what? I want her on this show because I want to show this is the best of Ghana.
Yes.
You see, this is what I keep saying, that my show is the positivity of showing our children, because there's too much negativity. Because you open the newspaper, oh, this black kid stabbed this, but where is the positivity? Because somebody sees you and they think, oh, you're this high and mighty, but your humbleness and your sense of helping your mom, you understand me? People. And even when I was talking to her, she was just laughing because I was just. I just got drawn to her. I'm just kind of thinking, you know what? This is what we need to exhibit. So now when I say, how do we change the narrative? How do you change it? And today, why didn't you bring bread?
Hey, Auntie.
Meat pie, please.
Sorry, I got you.
I think it's about through awareness.
I know.
That's the only way. And social media.
Social media, it has it.
How do we push it?
I would say social media, because whether we like it or not, it's there, and we have to go through social media to expose ourselves. Unfortunately,
but I just think we're getting. Do you know what? Even though we're sitting there, we're frustrated, and I can see we're all worried about our kids. I think, you know what, we've come far though.
We have.
Definitely.
Even with this woke movement, counselling, psychology, we've come far. So I mean, let's be grateful in a way.
Yeah. Even us as individuals, I'm sure you know that you've come far.
Right, definitely.
And I definitely know that for myself.
It's the way she said definitely, looking at me.
No,
how far am I going?
I've been paranoid.
I mean, you're here, you're healthy, you know.
I wasn't looking at you,
we're doing something.
Anyway, you see.
I must have been talking about myself.
All right.
No, I mean, we've all come far.
No, seriously.
You know, and I always tell my clients, like, even a small step forward is still a step. It's still a step.
Yeah.
Whether it's a centimetre or 10 centimetres is still a step. And you have to, I'd say, give gratitude for life daily, because that in itself can keep you going.
It can heal you anyway.
It can heal you, yeah.
Well, it gets you. I don't think it does actually heal you, because it's kind of like, I always keep saying, my niece died 2020. Now we are 24. And sometimes I always keep saying that it's kind of like it's a process.
I would say, when we say it heals you, I think when I say it heals you, when you're giving gratitude, it gets to a point where we're humans. We're gonna be, so what am I saying thank you for? And then that comes in.
Oh yeah, no. With me, I am, because Friday was my birthday. I'm healthy. I don't have a walking stick. Thank you. I don't have a walking stick. I'm healthy. Well, it depends on who you're telling. But all I know is I woke up and I was happy. My kids took me out, you know, and I looked at life. Even though what I want, I keep saying that me and God were still struggling on that.
Yeah, which is good.
Yes, because with me, I said, He's it. So, and this is how I think my mental health, the reason how I got where I got to was that I think one of the churches actually do horrible things to people's mental health. Because, you know, when I say that, it's kind of, you go to church and the church will say, oh, in the next 60 days, you get your next man. And then you're praying. I know they're asking you to give out money, and then all of a sudden, I feel that's mental abuse. So all of a sudden, the man doesn't come. And then you're angry with God. So I just took out the church.
I disagree. That's not mental abuse. I'm sorry.
No, it is, because all of a sudden
that's just you being silly in a way.
No, you can say me because I'm part of it. But my point is, that's why you have to take ownership of your crap, isn't it?
How is that mental abuse though?
Because when you go, they're giving you false hope, and then instead of you to actually work on yourself and say,
but you chose to believe them.
I didn't choose. At least I was in church. Then we are brought up to feel that churches, when you go there, they actually help you. They actually calm you, and then
there's miracles.
But they don't. That's the point. And they don't actually tell you that you have to work on yourself to understand. Because I remember there was a point whereby I felt, they tell you when a door opens, one opens or closes or whatever the hell it is, and then you're waiting for that door that's going to open, and you ain't opening. You understand? So all of a sudden, I'm upset. But and when I got to the point whereby I believed that things just happen. And there's no reason. That was when I could actually work on myself, because I had no expectation. I just got to the point that is life.
So brainwashing, then, isn't it? So basically, they've been brainwashing all of us.
So now, when you, because I'm not saying that people shouldn't go to church, that's what but that's another issue. So when I'm talking to you, when you're a counselor and somebody says, because if you know in our culture, they tell you, oh, God is there, it is well. Please stop doing that. Because you're suffering. No, seriously, because I remember when my niece died, and they said, oh, and how can I think, please stop saying that? Because at this present moment, it ain't well. I don't feel it. What I tell people was that, okay, let God put his hand on your heart and lessen the pain. That on me makes it more sensible than you telling me it is well. When I know it ain't well. So with you, how do you feel about my narrative? Because it's kind of like,
I would say, when you said the whole thing about churches saying the example of, in the next 60 days, you'll get your man.
And then you're pregnant, you're clapping your hands and you're sweating.
It's a load of baloney. We all know that. But, I mean, if it's something
it's got nothing to do with God. You see, people should not make this. Okay, so now, I know the time is really fast spent, we're going to do this again because mental health is so now what I want us to do is go and break. My producer thought I was going too much into the church thing, so he had to kind of put me on hold. So now, sweetheart, you are here. I want you to talk about like your dad's, what you do for your dad, everything to do with Jones Bakery, because without that I wouldn't have met you. So please give us what you do, how you use it to support your dad, and
so I guess I kind of grew up into the family business, and so just learning about business and management, and just kind of doing my part in it. So I've learned a lot from that in terms of how to network, how to talk to people, but without my counselling background, without me doing the work to get to where I am now, I wouldn't have been able to put myself out there and like network with people and talk to people. So it is a blessing that I have that, and I also have my counselling.
So if somebody wants to contact you, or any person wants to contact you personally for your their well-being, because you do hypnosis and all those things, how would they get in contact with you?
So I have a website which is sourceoflight.co.uk. And I also have a YouTube channel where I do upload guided meditations for people to do at home, wherever they are. Just like giving them resources to use whilst they're at home. sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how would they get, so the source of life?
Source of light.
Source of light.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now
Uncle John's Bakery. So,
Uncle John's Bakery.
Because I don't know where. Yeah. Where's Uncle John's Bakery?
So Uncle John's Bakery is on Seven Sisters Road in Wood Green.
What did they do? What did they sell?
What is it? Just bakery or is it food? What?
Yeah, so it's food.
What kind of food?
Bakery
What? Wache, red?
Oh no.
Yeah. So what exactly?
Goods. Baked goods. So we sell sweet bread.
Okay.
It's on the.
No, because I thought you lot just do bread.
Oh no,
This
we
is
have
it.
all types of bread.
let's
Sweet
get the
bread,
marketing
tea
on, basically.
bread. We do
donuts,
bofro.
So all the sweet pastries in Ghana we do there.
Yeah, well, most of them.
And your dad's bread is unique, isn't it?
Yes,
Of course it
very
is.
unique.
My hips is a testament to it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So-
also have cakes, and
Yes.
we cater for events, weddings, networking events.
Okay.
We were at Miss Ghana.
Oh, yes,
so that's where I
yes.
met
I even
you.
I got
Yeah.
some donut for
Oh,
free.
you did? Were you
yeah,
there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I didn't get something very bad.
You do shitter.
Yeah, so
yes.
you talk about what you do with shipping.
We also have shito as well.
Okay, wow.
Very tasty.
Is
you
it-
have to try
is
it.
it hot or
If
is
you're
it
at home,
mild
you have
or
to
is
try
it-
it. It's hot, but it's
Okay.
tasty.
What else do you do apart from the food aspect? Do you do anything else?
We also, cater to offices, and
Okay.
Okay.
if you want to have an office
Oh,
party or
geez.
just snacks.
So how do you get in contact with you on that?
So we have Instagram, Uncle John's Bakery,
Okay.
and you can also contact us through our website. Send us an
Okay.
email. You can call us.
Okay.
All the information is on the website.
Tell your dad to support me. Sorry.
He will.
Yes. So
Yes.
thank you so much. And then please. my
Okay,
dear,
so just wrapping it all up quickly. I do as a lifestyle coach
Yeah.
and mentor, and I do counselling. But I'm basically like a marketing person. Like I
Yes.
said in the beginning, I like to fix things. So I do beauty. I've got a section of beauty and I've got a section of accessories.
You sew, you do all those.
Yeah, I do
bags.
African print accessories because like I want the kids to
Okay.
do
I
us.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of
So
course,
so I've got
yeah.
things like little African print ties,
Okay.
African little brooches, everything African. So because some people can't wear what I'm wearing, it's a gradual process. Isn't
Right,
it?
right.
So you could just wear it into the offices and stuff.
Right.
And then on the beauty side, I do hair, nails. I do I don't know. I do personal shopping, anything to do beauty.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe we could collab on the
Yeah.
accessories because I actually have a clothing line as well.
No way.
Called Ohima Physique.
You say you left
you
that one.
So
Okay.
So that's all African
mine
print,
Mine is
but-
Nubian closet.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
people, thank you so much. And I want to thank my producer. I know Stadanzo is not here, but I keep saying that this platform, I can't say enough what Omega Live TV does for the youth and our community. My program might not be the ones I'm getting 10,000 views, but I know that, no, seriously,
You don't need
that
10,000
I
views,
push the youth because I want the best of Ghana
Yeah.
to be exhibited. And this is one of the reasons why I cannot thank my producer enough. Today I came early, so he's happy with me. So today I want to thank him, and I want us to say a massive thank you to him. People, share this program. This program is not just going to be it, because we're going to still talk about mental health. We're going to make sure that our kids emotionally, physically, and mentally are stable, and then our homes, because that is the next generation and we need to support. I thank everybody for tuning in. I thank you for my supporters. If I'm not able to mention your names, next week I'll do better. But I thank you guys. Have a lovely evening, and we're out. Thank you.
I can't believe I sat here with